Hello, I think I just want to do something a bit different. I'll try and do this in real time and hopefully keep everything small and contained. And I'm just going to show you basically me creating a short. What tools I might use, what websites I might go to. So in the very beginning, you can see I was just using OBS Broadcaster. That's what I use to record. I use Blender to generate my assets, FL Studio to do my music, and then I picked up video compositing, this Magic Video Pro X on some Hum Bundle. You can use any other video editing software just to do some light edits. Alright, so when I begin, I actually don't really have a thought. I just kind of start mucking about. I sometimes use an online service called Mixamo for animations. I've been testing out some Reallusion stuff, but let's just import a base. I have some base meshes I used quite a long time ago, and I really like the way they are because they're low poly and they give me enough abstraction. Now these were from a poly count way back in the day, and I mean even then this A pose might cause some problems with Mixamo automatic rigging, but that's okay. I'm kind of like interested in a story or whatever might happen, the feeling or the mood. Sometimes I might use, what do you call it, a Marvelous Designer to do some clothing, but for this purpose, I'm just going to try and keep this really short. So you can see I'm like clicking Q here because I actually want to remove all the sharp edges on this, or I can just use this as a base. Let me see what happens when I shade smooth. Alright, so that's not doing that, it's because it has sharp edges. So if I remove sharp, and clear sharp, and then let's shade smooth, and that's what I'm looking for. And then we want to go here and enable, let's enable automatic smooth, so that's enabled. G was kind of okay. We might just use this as a base, honestly. And one thing I like to do is add weighted normal. You can see it cleaned it up just a bit here. You can hit keep sharp, but you can see it just like really cleans it, like evens out the faces. So this is definitely handy to have when you're dealing with trying to get some nice normals here. Okay, so now I'm just going to start building off of this. I can also add a mirror modifier to make it a bit easier for me, like that. Make sure to click clipping. And we want to merge the points. We want to bisect this because it's going to like slice the mesh completely in half. And now we can just start building. So I can just like, again, I'm just going to do this really fast just to try and keep this video really low. So maybe I might make some, I don't know, some sci-fi man or something. Like maybe there's a piece that does this. Looks kind of neat. Alright, so I'm just going to cut that out. Bring this out like this. Slightly. Alright, and then let's go over here. Now, this is what I like to use. It depends on your edge loops as well, too. Sometimes it might be easier, sometimes some might be harder. I kind of like using low poly stuff if I'm doing clothing. I don't really need all the anatomy stuff coming in, because I find that's a little bit distracting for me. So let me just duplicate this, scale this out, bring this out forward like this, maybe bring it out like that. That's kind of cool. Alright, so we have this. Maybe we'll do a belt around. Duplicate that. Move it like this. Could probably have some leg pieces here. Like that. I think it should mirror over. It does. And then maybe shoulder pads are a little difficult to rig, but let's add those in, see what happens. Okay. Now we're going to add a neck piece around. Scale this like this. Bring this up. And then let's select all those pieces, and we're going to use some modifiers. So I've selected these pieces out. So you can see we have a little soldier man already. I don't want to get too intricate with the detail as well here. It comes with your kind of like stylistic choices of what you think sci-fi should look like. I kind of like my sci-fi to be more grounded in reality. When I'm doing things like this, I like fabric. But for this, let's add, okay, so we have the faces out. Let's choose the extrude, which is a solidify modifier. It's funny, like when I do these videos, I always like get blinded sometimes, like I don't know where things are. Alright, so there it is. We've like added it, but you can see it's a little odd because the way these are, we need to kind of like stack these. As you can see what happened here, if the weighted normals here, then we're applying all these modifiers. So we want to click, drag this down, and now our normals are good again. We can also add a bevel modifier. Let's add a bit of that. Maybe bring that above here. You can see it's adding that. And we can kind of limit the geometry by something. Let's see here. Like if I just want the edges or angle, we don't need to do offset. We can do angle here. And then we can get some of these like nice edges this way. Actually didn't really plan for that, but that's looking really cool. And you can change the amount of angles this way. So this is what I kind of like to do here. Oh, there's some really nice moments here. Alright, let's keep it like that. That's cool. I like that. Okay. And you can always go back in here and we could do the same thing. We can, you see how like duplicated the mesh, bring it out, and all these modifiers are applied here. So that's when you can start like popping things out. Let's do that here. Let's do that, bring this out. And you can see we're getting some really cool looking molding. And I kind of like to think of them as segments, like where is this person going to be rotating and how much mobility are you willing to sacrifice? So we're going to move this guy a bit back here. Maybe there's some like sort of, I don't know, maybe components that go back here, maybe a cooler, fans, something to keep this person warm. Because when you bring all this stuff, it kind of gets hot. So you want like internal systems in here. And that's something I notice. I mean, it's a stylistic thing, but I like my stuff to look kind of utility. So I kind of like to think about those components that go in here. And like, if you're going to wear this, it might as well, you know, be really comfortable. Like if I was going to wear this, I'd really want some nice air conditioning, maybe some kind of like liquid cooling piping inside. But of course, it's going to make it a bit more bulkier. And that's going to sacrifice the aesthetics. If you like designs that are more sleek, it's going to really not do that. But, you know, we live in an imagination land, and we can apply rules when we need to. So that looks kind of neat doing that, like this. Maybe I should add some pockets here. You can add, like, maybe here, so it's going to mirror this way. So I'll Shift D, duplicate that, bring that forward. And let's extrude this guy up here. And then we're going to add like this. And then we're going to add a loop here, loop down here. And then we're going to add a buckle here by extruding this out. And I think that looks pretty good for the purposes of this, honestly. Okay, and you know, if I was going to make this a bit better too, I'd probably take this into Marvelous Designer and put some clothing stuff in here, sew everything nicely together. Maybe we'll add something funny around his head here, like what kind of helmet this guy has. Or actually, what I'd like to do, this is maybe a nice thing too, is we can enable this X-ray mode up here. It is really handy to have X-ray. Excellent. So now I'll click on this, and I think the origin point's down here. So if I go Shift S and I'll move the cursor to selected, I'll go down here, and I'm just going to spawn, man, I don't know, a sphere. Let's bring him up, bring it up this way, extrude it out. And let's go down this way. Maybe bring it down like this. Rotate it like that. And then I'm just going to select the vert right in the center here. Hit G to move. O for the area of effect. There we go. O. And let's just kind of like make sure the head is completely inside. Like this, like that. And we can bring this down. Now it's going to look pretty dorky because I'm doing this really fast for this video here. Shade smooth. And then there's a nice tool where we can bisect, which basically means just it cuts through. And I just want to like maybe bisect this part going up. So it's like you can place a helmet on like a motorcycle helmet. So we select this and then bisect. And here, and now we cut where we want it. So I kind of want it angled to be sleek like this. Okay, and we'll open this menu. Sometimes there's options hidden here, We're going to clear outer, and you can see it's knocked it all out. All right. And then we'll just bring this up a bit more, bring this to the side, bring this down. And I kind of want a little bit of air or gaps in between, because in my head, I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be fans in here, there's going to be a bit of cooling, so it needs to be a little bit larger. And now if we take X-ray mode out, that's kind of looking kind of funny, I know. So we can like extrude this helmet in, and this can be very dirty geo. Bring this down, but if you're concepting, it's kind of okay. Bring this a bit in, and maybe that's where the cloth kind of goes around. Bring this down here. And then what I could do, yeah, you can see the normals here acting a bit weird. We can probably try and bevel this. No, that's not doing that. Yeah, this is very dirty geo. We could do a bisect down like this, and then the helmet splits into two. Because I'm looking at this here, and this is very a tight fit. So if I go this way, oh man, that geo is really bothering me. I do have some standards, but let's see if we can just like clean this up fast. Weighted normal, and then auto smooth here. So we'll go here, and let's go to auto smooth. That's not gonna fix it. That's okay. That's okay. We'll probably run a remesh on that. Okay, so we're gonna do a bisect. Oh, bisect, and we're gonna cut this like that, and then we're gonna clear inner, and then I think we can do a select. What was it? It was select. There was something. Select boundary loop? No. There was a very specific select. Next active. What was it? Select loops? Inner region? That's the one. Select inner region. P selection. So now these two are separated. And so this is how I think the helmet would open. You connect it like that. That's all good. Now we can go in here and like try and do a little bit of editing what we did down here. This is how I go about thinking things. So let us see. Let's go to X-ray, and we can see our little faces here. So we might have a visor, and this is where you can like kind of go in and design your helmet a little bit. I like keeping things really simple, and like the outer appearance is simple, but if it comes to components, I like to think that's where most of the complexity is. And so if I just do, you know, I can just probably delete this. Faces right here, and you can kind of see that looks kind of funny like that. What I meant to do was selection. And now if I do this, you can see that's probably where the helmet's going to be. Very, very retro, I think. And again, shape languages change up this way. Let's click here, and let's get rid of that X-ray. Where is it? X-ray. And maybe we'll have some, like, I don't know, some like neat design here. Maybe this would be an ear. So his ear would be here. So let's say maybe there's a component here that is the ear, houses the earpiece. So we can do that. Extrude along normals. Do it like that. That looks really gross. Can we clean that up a bit? All right. Anyway, again, just purposes of stuff, and then probably I'll have a wire going down here where his probably mic is, or their mic is. This is a piece of equipment. Extrude this out, and then this. Anyway, we can add so much more, but I kind of just like, I think I just keep it simple for now. Okay, so we have this. We have this guy. We have this fella. This is really bothering me. Okay, let's see. Remesh. Let's get rid of that. It's gonna keep bothering me. So remesh. Where are you? I actually have a handy plugin for quad remesher. Actually, maybe I should do that. Let's see. Quad remesher. Let's do. Oh man, I don't know. 1,500. Boop. Quarter for done. Oh, still ugly geometry. Because it's bad geometry to start with. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, so we have this person here. Let's just export this guy out now. So if you want things to be a little more cleaner, we can go in actually and like cut geo we don't need. So if I go to wireframe view, his head won't be needed because I don't need to be part of the rig. Or actually, this rig's kind of small. How many faces do we have in total? We have, let's take a look here. Oh, we have 4,000. Ah, that's good enough. Okay, that's fine. So we'll just export this fella out as an OBJ. You can do this as an FBX as well. But let's just use OBJ. I'll put this on my desktop and we'll call him tutorial demo. And we'll hit export. And I'm just going to pause the video here and log on to Mixamo. Okay, so I've logged on to Mixamo and you can see it's a bunch of stuff. It'll auto-rig your things, and this is great if you just want to do really fast animations or prototyping, VizDev videos or animatics. This is what I like to use. So we're going to hit upload character, FBX, OBJ, or zip. Select the character file, funny meme, desktop, funny memes, tutorial demo, OBJ. This character is really small, so we're uploading him, and you can see it's here. Best results, T-pose. He's an ape pose. We could have moved things up, but just to show you what I end up doing anyway here, like we just drag this here. Elbows, put the elbows here. Knees and the groin right there. Standard skeleton. I sometimes don't really like fingers, so I go no fingers. I don't know why. We could do standard skeleton. I find sometimes it messes up, but let's see what happens. So it's gonna take some time. It says it could take up to 2 minutes, but once in a while I find it actually takes way less than that. It depends on the complexity of your rig. So watch this man soldier thing spin around. Look at it. Look at him. Maybe I should pause the video. We'll see. Okay, I'm just going to pause this. Oh, wait, never mind. Alright, completed. Look at that. It has been given life. So we can look at all these amazing animations, and these will be exported out as FBXs. So you can go through and see which one is interesting to you. So we can always do like walk. Let's see, there's a walk. Walking witch. Good thing too is you can always have this in place so you can see what's happening. There's some options like that. You can have it mirrored, and there's a variety of options here that you can play around with. Maybe this person is just a utility kind of person, so it's funny. I actually don't do, thinking about it, I used to do a lot of like soldier people, but a soldier pew pew man, pew pew woman, or pew pew things. But over the years, I really like utility stuff, because there's like a deeper story behind it other than like, I have to defend this place. So let's do this. This looks like has a hilarious swagger. Look at that. You can overdrive this, make it a bit slower. Looks like it works in space. Alright, this is great. Alright, so it's going to download this. 30 frames, all of this is fine. Download this. And it should, boom, right there, walking 5. Okay, so I have a ton of actually other videos, so I'm just gonna, not videos, animations. Toot man. So UDL, copy that. We can just place them in a new collection. Mats. I don't know why I call it mats. Seemed right. And import FBX, and let's look for tutorial man. Apply transformation, sure. Okay, we're gonna import this in, and look at this little guy. Look at him. It's right here. So he's so super tiny. We can see the scale. Look at these dimensions here. So we can think about real world dimensions. And I don't know, like average height. This is Y, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's just say he's 1 meter. There. Okay. Good enough. Okay. So now he's a real world height. You can see this, and it stops. Oh, but why does it stop? Well, because these are keyframes, and we got to push them into nonlinear animation. And to do that, we'll click on this, and we'll go to the graph. Nope, not the graph. The dope sheet. Yes. And then from here, we're going to look for. Nope, that's the wrong one. Nonlinear, and we're going to click on this to push the animation down. So now it's an animation clip. So what that means is if we have other animations, we can blend and mix them in. But you can see for now, as soon as it stops, like, oh, that's kind of boring. We want it to continue. So we could click on this, and it should automatically loop. Or actually, I think it's slowing it down. Yeah, so this is time remapping. So we can not use that, but we can use, where is it? Action clip, repeat. This is the one. So we can use that. You can see it repeats. So we have it looping. And let's actually make it a bit faster. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay, so let's repeat this. And now we have this person walking. Crazy. We can go in and like assign some very quick materials too. And what I like to do, actually, I'll just show you this as well. I covered it in my tutorial, but I'm just going to do a quick run through. Is I will create